Hi YouTube, this is Rose with Pertaining to Rose, coming out to you. I brought a special guest on with us today. You want to kind of like look over here because when you do, they can see you looking right at them. Say hi.
Hi.
So today this is Toni Paulvir. She is my cousin and I brought her on. This is a great thing because she's kind of expert. She doesn't like that term, but I like it. So she does have studies in NLP, which is NeuroLinguistic Programming, and ERT, and I'll get you to explain that in a moment. And she has a Bachelor in Science in Art Therapy, Life Coaching, and Jack Canfield Coaching Company.
Yes.
Yeah. What all is ERT? Because I don't think I ever heard that one before.
Oh, it's energy release techniques. There's many things way to do different types of ERT, energy release techniques. So it is similar to, it's kind of overlapping to emotional release techniques. I don't know if you've ever heard of emotional release techniques. It's the same thing because your energy is everything, and so you're actually getting rid of releasing the energy or the emotions from your body.
And is there something that you can do to kind of help us, like if you want to give us a small description, like you said before about the tapping or...
Well, yeah, tapping is a good one, but I like to use a lot of visualizations, meditations. There's so much overlap with NeuroLinguistic Programming, so I'm kind of trying to keep this with energy release, which is actually mostly breath. You know, you want to breathe. That's a really good way because it's going down into your cells and you're blowing out the resistance that we have, or the things that are holding us back from what we want to really do in our lives and make our lives better. So you're a lot of times what I do is I'll breathe into I probably have all breath work, or you want to be, watching something like this. I'm sure many of you know how important the breath is, and meditation. So it's kind of like that, but you're also visualizing the yucky black stuff coming out of your body. Now, I was really into, when I first was scraping the inside, it was like I was this oven that had this coating of black, burnt stuff on there. So it was like scraping that out. But now it's kind of more of just a visceral thing of blackness or darkness or something that's resistant and mixed up. So you're just releasing that out of your body. And you can make up your own way to do it. And I do. There's like, sometimes I'll be dancing or something and I'm like just releasing all this yucky energy, especially if you're having any resistant thoughts, which we were going to talk about a lot about resistant thoughts. So.
Well, I know because I'm a smoker, I've had an issue with quitting smoking for a long time, but I envision this like a little tiny vacuum cleaner, and it vacuums out my throat and vacuums out my lungs, and I see the vacuum cleaner pulling the black stuff out.
Yeah.
Is it something like that?
Yeah, that would consider that neurolinguistic programming or energy. Probably more neurolinguistic because you're not actually involving. Well, you are involved.
Yeah, I do it like a meditation.
But you're not involving your breath necessarily with that.
Sort of like, and I know they tell children with cancer to envision the Pac-Man eating the bad cells.
Yeah,
and stuff.
That was definitely a neurolinguistic programming thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and energy release, because they all kind of overlap, because you're releasing those little bugs. But see, that's more neural, because where energy release, I think it is similar. It's a form, but the energy release is more about things in your cells. You're going in your body rather than just your mind, because if you're like looking at little things eating them up, that's neural.
Right.
But if you're like actually releasing the stuff, it's just that's more
How do you kind of like go into releasing it? So do you
with your breath.
with your breath? Well,
Or-
can you give us a demonstration then?
You want to count for me?
Sure. You do the
No,
in.
I'll do the counting.
Okay.
And you do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So do I get like sit up straight or anything? Put my shoulders back.
Well, we are trying to do that more.
Yeah.
Keep ourselves aligned. So what I want you to do is you can when you're feeling relaxed enough to do it,
Okay.
you close your eyes,
Okay.
and I'll go breathe in. You want to breathe down here in your belly. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3. Breathe it out 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait 1, 2, 3. Breathe in 1, 2. Keep breathing. Fill up your belly. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get to try?
Yeah, I kind of like feel a little lightheaded.
You do.
Is that normal then?
Oh yeah, because your energy is really moving around. That's what I've been doing a lot lately. This particular one too, when I feel any kind of conflicting energy within my body.
Okay.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
But you have one too, don't you?
What I do breathing techniques.
Yeah.
But I didn't get in as in depth as that. But I do that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And then if you still can't, if you're not using your total brain from concentrating 1, 2, 3, 4 like I usually do, until it gets started, it's really fun when you don't have to think so much about doing it, and it just kind of.
Right.
But you can also, you don't even really need a visualization for something like that.
Right.
It's all about that. See, to me, that's more like releasing it out of your body rather than just your mind.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So you were talking earlier to me about the resistance in the brain.
Conflicting brain. Your
The conflicting
brain.
thoughts.
Yes.
Okay, discuss that a little bit because I'm kind of interested in what that all had to deal with.
Okay. Well, first, you know about awareness and how you have to be aware of what you're thinking because the law of attraction says, and not only what you're thinking, it's also what you're feeling, because you can think all day long that I'm gonna, in your brain that you're gonna get $1 million. But it has to be a feeling, and so the more you clear out the energy of resistance and darkness, and then you have a more clarity what your higher purpose and what your God wants us to do each moment, pretty much.
Right.
You get clear, and so that you don't even have to, decide anything anymore. So you don't have any conflicting things like, should I do this? Should I do that? Or I don't do enough, or, all that stuff. Or I'm, with the things that are conflicting in your mind telling you that you're not this perfect human being that God created.
Okay, now I do look at I know I'm not perfect, but I tell myself that I am because God made me. Mm-hmm. So I'm wonderfully made whole.
Right.
In His image. So that I do, those are my belief thoughts, that I tell
that's
myself.
all belief, but you want your body to know it too. You want all those little cells to know that you are created, all
right.
that you love you want your body to know. It's easy, you can do it in your head all the time, but until it's connected, the energy, that's why I think release, I think it's more about your cells and your energy in your body, because, body, what is that, soul? Body, mind, and spirit.
Right.
Yeah. So your body is huge. I mean, I remember really feeling like I had everything. I didn't feel like I had a lot of conflict or anything in my life, and I could just let it go or whatever, like using the release. But then my body started falling apart. And so then that's when I realized that my body has to be involved in this as well.
Right. So how do we get our bodies involved, though?
Well, you clear out the darkness, the resistance. You're clearing that out, and you're allowing, and you're aware of your thoughts, so you're not getting anything in there like that. You're perfectly okay with yourself doing nothing. It's like, you can't, it's kind of like, it was really hard, and I still do. It's like, oh, I should be going to do this or whatever, but I don't. It's like, I don't have to do anything, and I feel good about it. It's like, because I'm being guided. I'm not having to push myself. It's like I was telling her, it's like I kind of gave up just trying to push myself and do all this stuff, because God's going to show me if I just clear out all that darkness within me and know who I am and absolutely love myself and know that I deserve the best.
Okay, Hips, are you listening to this? The brain overload and the brain fog. Do you know what I mean? You kind of like get everything going on and your brain kind of gets like just overstuffed, You
mean like brain overload?
Yeah,
how do you monkey mind?
Yeah, how do you kind of like release that? I mean,
little bit at a time, and I think it breaks, eventually, and it's awareness, you're aware of it, so you have your tool, whatever you need, like whether it be I remember a lot of times I would just like, well, that was more NLP, but you feel the emotion, and then like if you're like, say, let's give me an example, and then I'll tell you, like say.
Well, for me, everything takes a daily practice.
Right.
But like I'll get so much stuff going in my mind, like I got to do the grocery store, I got to, I get all that stuff like all piled up, know. And then it's almost like frantic mode. Okay, it's down to 1 o'clock. I got to get this stuff done, and I'll go crazy trying to get it all done, and then it just kind of like builds up on you. Like, okay, it's not getting...
Right.
You kind of like feel rushed through
conflict because you're like, I should do this should be done already, and like, but is that helping you move forward?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm one of those people that will push myself through my goals, but everything else I'm okay with. I'm more laid back with.
Yeah.
But my goals are like, I'm so pinpointed that I do get.
Yeah, as long as it's not giving you any resistance or confliction in your brain, I would say, are you feel like you're being guided by God, what you're doing?
Yeah, I do.
Well, then to me, that's the gauge of it. But would God want me to be freaking out because I didn't get everything done?
No, that's true. I never thought of it that way.
Would God knows you're perfect what you're doing.
Right.
Just guide me. Take care of me. I don't want to, or you don't have to say I don't want. He knows what you need.
Right. And some people call it source or whatever.
Yeah. But that's what that ERT is to release all that cellular memory. And a way to do that is like you go back to, okay, you're feeling that way. Like the next time you feel that way, you can go, where have I felt like that before? And then you can, in your mind, this is a NeuroLinguistic Programming thing. In your mind, you think, where did I do that before? And you say, oh, I did that when I was, at school, blah, blah, blah. It's something. And then you go, where was I before that? Where was I before that? And you keep going back.
That's good.
And not only do you think it, you go like, what did it feel like? What was I feeling then?
Right.
So each, okay, so you're feeling conflicted. And you might even go like, what is my body feeling like right now? So then you go, where did I feel that before? Well, how did my body feel? What did it smell like? What did it look like?
Right.
What was around me? So you're going deep into that. Look at that big, huge bird flying around. Hi. No. So you're going through all that. Then you go, where before that? Where before that? I did that one time, and it was so deep. I was I don't know. I can't remember all that, which is nice, but the details, but it's not it, but it was huge for me. I felt really lifted from that, and I sometimes I cry a lot. That's how I do most of my energy release,
right?
Because all that is just, it's washing out the darkness and the cellular memory, because we all have gone through so much trauma as children and adults, you know, and all kinds of trauma. And traumas. You can say, oh, he's a lot worse because he was, whatever, than me, or, but then what? The effects are the same. Yeah, maybe the trauma is different, but the effects that he has and the effects that you have, or whatever trauma you have, all the effects are the same. The self-hatred, the feelings of hopelessness.
Yeah, I
and
practice
guilt
forgiving myself and forgiving others.
Forgiving.
And yeah, that helps me a lot.
Yeah.
I feel that helps me, especially when I'm really miserable. Then I'm like, okay, where do I got to go back and pinpoint, but I do understand that. I do that a lot.
But sometimes I do like to, like, if I do have one of those, I'm feeling really miserable. I mean, sometimes I kind of like those. It's like, oh, cool.
Well, I had my moments
like
too. And it took me a long time to be this positive.
Yeah.
It took me years and years of practice.
Oh my God, years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 65, so. I mean, I remember originally I put a rubber band around my wrist.
Right.
Because I was Miss Negative, man.
I tried that with quit smoking. It didn't work. Snapping the
Well,
rubber
don't say
band.
it didn't work.
Yeah, I'm still working on that.
And I'll show you a NeuroLinguistic Programming technique one time for smokers. That's big on smokers.
That would be cool.
Well, I'll try to put it, but we can't do it right now.
Yeah.
But I'll try to put you through one of those.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah, a lot of people, that's just one of them. But the NLP is very, very good for smokers.
Yeah, and they release all that.
And they have books about how to do your own neurolinguistic programming to yourself. I have all kinds of neurolinguistic
Now,
programming.
it's not like hypnotizing. And I think a lot of people think of that as hypnotizing.
Well, there's also self-hypnosis too.
Yeah.
It's different in that like a big one is you take it, they use a lot of anchors. Like, picture something in your head, like say you want to quit smoking. Say, okay, what color, so you make a symbol for that. You make a symbol for the cigarette that you want to get rid of.
Okay.
I probably look through my book again. And so you give it a smell, you give it a shape, you give it a color, you give it until you visualize this thing that you want to get rid of really bad. The cigarette smoke and you get that anchored in your head, this image. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now this is neurolinguistic programming. It's not so much emotional release. But I mean it still releases emotions because there's emotions in your head too, but anyway, so then once you have that, then you look at it on a screen. You're looking at the screen, okay, of this thing that you want to get rid of. And then usually a therapist will go, when I say 3, I'll say boink and make that disappear into the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what you do, but you can do it, and you do it and then you say, now how do I feel? Do I still feel like smoking as much? And then you do it again, but you always, every time that you want a cigarette, you have this little, it's like a movie in front of you of your smoking and all that you just, and it just, boom, and you just like poof it out of your brain, and it just goes boing and it's gone off the screen.
Right.
And that's.
So I know when I used to have like negative emotions, I would act like, in my brain, I would visualize me writing down why I was having these emotional issues.
Yeah.
And I would write it down in my brain, and then I would crumple it up in my brain into like a ball, and I would throw it out into the universe, and then the angels out there would have their baseball bats ready. Now, I'm not a southpaw, but, they would knock it out past the universe into deep space where it can never hurt anybody ever again. And that was my visualization technique. I also use, if I want to feel a certain way, and let's say somebody's just stressing me a little bit, I might pinch my arm just real lightly here.
They're not stressing you. You're letting them get stressed.
Yeah, I'm letting the stress affect me. Yes.
Or I'm letting I'm getting stressed because of that's not
right.
You have control of that.
That's why I do the technique. Pinch my arm. Sit there.
Is that what that's good?
Sometimes I'll hold my elbow.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Did you hurt yourself?" And I'm like, no, I didn't.
Another thing is what if that happens again? You can be holding your elbow and think, okay, now where have I felt that before?
Yeah, that's a good thought.
Where have I felt that before?
I do my Superman pose too.
Oh,
especially if they're like coming at me. I do the Superman pose, and I don't know why, but that's always been a good one for me.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's just kind of like, okay, now your negativity bounces right off of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
you
like
put
bullets,
a shield
they
in
bounce
front
up.
of you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard when you have to work with people that trigger you or challenge you.
Right. How do you avoid those conflicting thoughts?
Sorry. Talking too much.
No, you're fine.
Well, is this how long we're not gonna want to watch all this?
Oh, we're at 20 minutes. You want to call it a day, and then we can maybe do another one
practice
later.
one. We were just gonna practice that.
You're not supposed to say that, because if it was good, then we're gonna upload it.
Oh.
We love Toni.
Yeah, we do.
So if you'd like to see Toni on here again, make sure you comment below. Don't forget to like our show, and you can see Mom in the background there. She's always popping in on one of my videos.
I love my favorite aunt. She's my favorite aunt.
So make sure you comment, like, make sure you subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the very end of the bell. When you hit that bell,
closer.
it'll come up.
Away.
Sorry. She's directing me on my show. I love it. I love it. Well, we want to have more of this kind of stuff.
Oh, I can
learning
talk
it.
all day long.
Okay, well, we won't do a 20-minute. Maybe we'll do it live and just talk it all out.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. So, out to you guys. We love you all. Thank you so much, Toni, for coming on here. I truly appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having
You're
me,
welcome.
Rosie.
And you have a good day. Bye, guys.